Om Namah Shivaya. As you sit in meditation, with the posture that we talked about, here the sankalpa becomes very key, very important. As you know, the essence of the sankalpa is to tell your mind that for the duration of this meditation, I want to explore the person who is playing the roles. This may seem like a very simple instruction to the mind, but it turns out it is very profound, very meaningful. So as you take the rest of the steps for the preparation, namely the sakshi of your indriyas, sense organs, the sakshi of your sthula sharira, the very visible body, the sakshi of your prana, and the sakshi of your subtle body in the form of mind and its movement. So after the sankalpa, if you bring a purity of your mind in the form of seeing yourself as the sakshi of everything that seems to happen, everything that is visible, everything which is the object of your awareness. If this is done, then you are prepared to explore the person who is the actor behind all these roles. the roles are made up of these 4 segments: sense organs, also representing the organs of action, the sthula sharira, the pranaha, and the manaha, both representing the sukshma sharira. So the roles constitute these 4 different ways of your acting out. But here in Nididhyasanam, which is the main meditation for a Vedantin, begins the vichara, the exploration of the person who is playing the roles. Here, the example of an ocean and a wave in the ocean is very helpful, very appropriate. To see the distinction between the actor and the roles. One might see this as the ocean, the water, which is the actor, and the waves as the roles. Please observe that the actor remains the same. The roles are superimposed on the actor and change. No 2 waves are ever the same. Every wave has its own life, its own movement, its own form, its own timing. Everything about it is unique to it. But even as it is dancing, moving, it is still water. It began as water, it stays as water, and it goes back to water. This is indicative of the way we are. See this fact very clearly. It is not difficult to see this. We are an unchanging consciousness. Chit Swarupoham, Jnana Swarupoham. I am the nature of pure consciousness, pure knowledge. You can see this. Is there any doubt in your mind that your nature, your Swarupa is I know, I know, I know, I know. If there are thoughts in the form of waves, you know what the thoughts are. You know their duration. You know exactly. You can assume a witness to the thoughts. A witness to the thought is not a special characteristic. It is just you. You don't become a witness. If there are some things to be witnessed, you witness. If there is nothing to witness, you are still the Swarupa of I know, I know, I know. This Swarupa, the very nature of you, is the nature of Brahman, of Atma, all one and the same Vastu. I am, I know, without any changes. Don't you see this? Is this difficult? It is only difficult if you are unaware of this fact. Once you can see this distinction between the role and the actor, it is not difficult. See yourself as this unchanging vastu, unchanging conscious entity. This constant, conscious entity, Chit Swarupaha, the nature of which is beautiful to explore, is Ananda Swarupa to explore, to review, to understand, and to embrace it. This is what Nididhyasanam is all about. This exploration in the form of vichara. Vichara meaning a guided thinking. So we talk about guided meditation. Guided meditation means vichara, an exploration not on your own, but as led by the Shastra. The Shastra says, up to this point, you have only been familiar with roles. You have not had the chance to do thinking about the actor. This is what you should pay attention to. This is the Vedantic vichara. So for this, we follow the instructions of the Shastra. Shastra says, this constant conscious entity that you are is anadi. See this fact. Aham anadihi. See this fact. Did you ever begin? Can consciousness ever begin? Shastra says you need to have a proof of everything that you conclude. This is called pramana. Do not accept anything without pramana. Do you have a pramana for beginning? If you were to have pramana for a beginning of this constant conscious entity, Chitsvarupaha, then the pramana would have to observe the birth of this constant entity. Has it ever happened? Do you have any proof of it? Then why do you keep a conclusion that I began? There is a proof about a role beginning. We know that. There are proofs about the body and the mind and the prana and the sense organs all beginning. Yes, there is a pramana for it. But is there a pramana for the beginning of the actor itself? There is none. The pramana for the constant conscious entity Chitsvarupoham being never born is given by the Shastra, which is the word of Ishvara. That is the pramana. Parameshvara, Rudra, Shiva, all the same entity, Brahman, tells you you were never born. You have always been an actor. There is no beginning for the actor, and there is no end to being the actor. You are mixing up the birth of the role as the birth of the actor. Don't you see this? This is what the Shastra says. I am simply expressing the instructions of the Shastra. Don't you see this? Shastra says. Where is the proof? Where is the pramana? That you were born. In fact, you never were. Ishvara says, I am telling you that. If you have Shraddha in the words of the Shastra, it is very easy to see. Yes. Aham anadihi. And you don't just accept the words of the Shastra. See your own experience. Does it not match what the Shastra is telling us? Are you not the very nature of I know, I know, I know, I know? Chit Swarupoham. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.